Hello and welcome to Love Muslims Critique Islam Part 8. Throughout the series of videos, I'll be sharing with you the truth that you won't get from the mainstream media about Islam, and you won't get it from Muslims either. So let me reveal to you the secrets Imams don't want you to know and take you on a journey of absolute truth after we answer the question that Muslims ask: has the Bible been corrupted? Now, some Muslims like to tell me that the Bible has been corrupted. So in response, I like to point out the number of times in the Quran it says to believe in the Bible. But if it has been corrupted before the Quran was written, then why did Allah tell us believers to believe in it? But if it was corrupted after, then please tell me how and please tell me when. When they can't, they get confused and become eager to draw me into a pointless circular argument. Imams try to be smart and ask me, well, what book am I referring to? And I just say, well, didn't Allah reveal that to you when he says, believe in the people of the book? Now, back in the day, Muslims knew which book Christians and Jews Allah was talking about, because they were referred to as the people of the book, and the book is Bible for Christians and the Torah for Jews. And there are a number of verses in the Quran that support the Bible and encourage Muslims to believe in it. So I'll read you a few. No one can alter the words of Allah. So when he says believe in the book, you believe in the book. If you are in doubt about which have revealed to you, then ask those who have been reading the scripture before you. So that's the Christians and the Jews. And finally, ask the people of the scripture. So it couldn't be really clearer, could it? And believe the scripture which he sent down before, Surah 4:136. And my favorite Quranic verse is, do not argue with the people of the scripture, Surah 29:46. So why do they? Hey, anyway, Muslims like to make the outrageous claims that somehow Muhammad has a mention in the Bible and insist on quoting the following verses to prove Islam's superiority over it. But these are met with the following responses. So this is what they say. Quoting Surah 7:157, Muhammad is to be found in the Torah and the Gospel. Where? Or they will say, quoting Surah 35:31, Quran came to confirm the Bible. How? Or they will quote Surah 19:30, Allah gave Jesus the Gospel. When? See, if Allah is really saying to Muhammad, the Bible is corrupted, he did not reveal where, how, or when, and we cannot understand why Muslims claim that he is telling us to look for Muhammad in it. Other claims they tend to make is a reference to the lack of original script, but that claim only serves as an exposure to their own lack of Islamic history knowledge. In 1947, a young Bedouin shepherd boy was throwing stones into a cave. When one stone didn't make the same sound as the other, he went to investigate. Between 1947 and 1956, 11 clay jars containing 15,000 fragments from 500 manuscripts were discovered, and when analyzed were found to be from 250 BC. When they finished analyzing all the scraps of scripture, they found every single book of the Old Testament except for Ruth, and 19 copies of the book of Isaiah. Now, the entire book of Isaiah, which has little deviation to the Old Testament that we have today, is found to be written 2,000 years ago and is consequently 1,000 years older than any other previous book. Muslims like to point to the variants found by study on the New Testament by Bart Ehrman of the University of North Carolina as proof it has changed and therefore is corrupted. Now, a counter study of Bart Ehrman's variants done by Professor Dan Wallace of Dallas Theological Seminary, however, found that 90% of these variants did not make a difference to the script and therefore are irrelevant. A flat refusal of accepting the Bible by people in general could have many factors behind it, but I suspect there would be a reluctance to accept some sort of high authority that may look down to proving of their lifestyle choice and will want to be quick to dismiss biblical text as irrelevant ancient text that has no place in modern society. Non-believing scholars will be quick to hold up and revere the workings of ancient writers like Homer, Plato, Aristotle, and Pliny as ancient works worthy of study, but not the Bible. See, there is a bias against the Bible and a natural refusal to welcome it as a credible document that has stood the test of time because, I suspect, of this dislike of its message. Today, look, we have 643 of Homer's earliest manuscripts dating back to 400 BC and were first written 900 BC. And Plato is also, well, actually, he's even rarer. We only have 7 copies of his work that date back to 900 AD, which is a time span of 1200 years from when it was first written. It's a similar story for other notable ancient writers and historians, with the very few of their work surviving, but nobody calls them irrelevant because they're ancient texts. Now, the New Testament, on the other hand, was written between 40 and 90 AD. Its earliest copy we have dates back to 125 AD, which is only a time span of 25 to 50 years. And today we have 24,000 copies. Now, the book about Jesus was written in a shorter time span than other credible ancient texts. It's dated closer to its year of compilation than any other credible ancient text, and is the best preserved of any other credible ancient text. Yet somehow it's seen by many and dismissed as just simply a 2,000-year-old out-of-date book that has had its day. Continues to prove its truthfulness by historian discoveries. Nelson Kluck, you can see there in the picture, who is a Jewish archaeologist, he says this: to date, no archaeological discovery has ever controverted a single properly understood biblical statement. And to date, archaeologists have found and proved the existence of 48 people mentioned in the Old Testament Bible who lived between the period of 1100 to 500 years BC, and from areas ranging from Babylon, Persia, Syria, Egypt, and Israel. And artifacts in the British Museum in London from that time just reveal the reliability of the Bible's history, a book which has never been out of print. The spread of Christianity is truly remarkable when you think about it, given the amount of persecutions Christians have suffered over history, from Romans of yesteryear to Muslims today. Christianity and Judaism has many attempts to suppress it over the years, but God keeps it surviving and thriving. And this is partly down to the global reach of the Bible, which far exceeds the Quran today. And the Bible has been translated into 554 different languages, allowing a readership of over 5 billion people. It's a lot of people. I mean, the New Testament alone has been translated into over 1,300 different languages, stretching its readership to around about 663 million. And so far, at least one book of the Bible has been translated into over 1,045 different tongues for a potential readership of 281 million. But then there is ongoing work to translate itself further into another 2,300 more language. Now, when you compare that to the Quran, it's only been translated into 25 to 30 languages, which are not considered to be real translations, because the Quran, we're told, can only be understood in Arabic, a language only 3% of the world claim to speak in any case. Therefore, any translation of the Quran is just not authentic. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this 8th episode. Has the Bible been corrupted? In the next episode, I'll be revealing more truths of Islam and asking the question, has the Quran been corrupted? But in the meantime, I will say bye-bye for now.